Hey, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. Pretty excited about this beautiful journal that I've just finished, and this is going to go up in my Etsy shop momentarily. It's hyperstamper.etsy.com. Everything in here is authentic, antique, and vintage ephemera. I use no commercial products in my journals. I just want people to have that wonderful walk through time when they look through one of my journals. I've got the vintage beads here that I thought matched this beautiful neutral tone, and I want to give a shout out to a very special friend of a very special friend of mine who gifted me all of this Chantilly lace. It's from a vintage wedding dress in the 70s. So I'm just gobsmacked at how beautiful it is and how many wonderful things I can make with this. So it was the inspiration here for the cover of this. I've got Chantilly lace at the top here. I've got it about 5 other kinds of vintage crochet on here. And I've got this wonderful 1930s ledger page with the original quilt pen and inkwell writing there. I wrapped some of the Chantilly lace around the side here, and the book itself is from 1939, came a Cavalier, and I've got some ribbons just to match that. So let's take a look inside this really pretty special journal. There's the original pages here, 1930s children's book page. I've got an antique page envelope, a plate from the Scottish Highlands book from the early 1900s as well, little secret journaling spot up here and here. All the clusters even are authentic, antique and vintage ephemera. Got a 1950s bingo card. I love those. Here is a French postcard, and that is vintage, and it's quite beautiful. Is that something? Like, I love the ruffled edge on it. And another wonderful little children's book page pocket there. 1925 art education book page with a wonderful print on it. This is one of my favorites. A 1950s recipe book page, and that's the tab page frosting. And anybody who knows me knows I will eat around a cake just to get to the frosting. I love frosting. There's a wonderful image from that art education book there. 1950 receipt in here from a variety store. Just fun. Vintage music sheet, more vintage children's book pages, and this is just a really fun 1951 yearbook page with the original autographing in it. And look at this cool piece here. It's got the stamp in it from 1872. I've got a bunch of those, so I will be using those this week. I'm very excited for those. And here's just a really fun page from the 1950s from a magazine. Not fun, just really fun advertisements in there. Look at that. Look at, I love little, when you go through one of my journals, look at the details. Look at the price of the cash register on the eggs. It's just fun. It's just really fun to look through time. Here's a doily page from a vintage doily book, and just another vintage recipe page there that you can journal on. So I tried to add as much journaling space as I can. That's from the 1800s there, that little piece. And so is this advertisement here. I was going to put antique paper on the back for journaling, but it had this beautiful poem, so I just left it. So you can enjoy both sides of that. This is just a fun little tag here I made, and the pocket has 2 more mini tags in it, made out of a 1955 American Highway Road Map book. Whoop. And then back here is another vintage antique page tag for journaling on. That is from the 1800s there. It's a lovely fuzzy cardstock page. Whoop, a little piece of scrap there. And here is a great little plate from the 1902 Currier and Ives plate book. And that says The Morning Recreation. That's sweet. I love that she's wearing a top hat. I love that. Children's book page pocket. Another children's book page here. Isn't that wonderful? How long is a lifetime? That's just perfect for a journal, right? Just covered up some plain text here with more antique book pages, a vintage playing card with a Victorian woman on here that you can upcycle and make into another craft. This is the original dust jacket of this book from 1939. And even though it's in rough shape, I think it's beautiful. So it's very brittle. I tried to glue it down here to keep it intact. And so I made a pocket out of this page here, which is an theater art page from the 40s. And then there's a little children's book page journaling spot that I made with antique paper. And there is a typing lessons book page, and there's more of that Chantilly lace. Is it pretty? Oh my gosh, I'm just in love with it. I love it. 1930s children's book page, and one of these beautiful little window tags here for journaling on. That there is not vintage. Just a full disclosure there. Vintage dictionary page. Here, some fun little words in there. This is from the 1800s, this cluster. Another book japper from another book I've been using, All the Little Live Things. I just thought it was wonderfully colorful. And in here I just put an antique page from an encyclopedia. I just love the raccoon on that one. So I tucked that in the pocket there. And then this is from the 1929. It names all the people here in the picture. Nice little family there on their front porch. A vintage scorecard. I think it's from Bridge. I just did that. Also is just tea-dyed there. And the Little Women's page there for antique book. And then this is a really beautiful 1800 book page here with antique paper on the back for journaling as well. Just love the Little Women pockets. And I just made that for more journaling space on some plain text. And more really fun how to iron. That's the Encyclopedia of Housekeeping. Good companions. I thought you could just do anything you wanted on this page. You could do some mixed media, put your own journaling on there, journaling paper, tape a photo to there. It's from the early 1920s, this children's book page. A 1955 stamp collector's page. And here's a nice fuzzy children's cardstock page called The Water Picnic. Wonderful, wonderful center spread there. Just love that fuzzy cardstock. More of that same antique book. Look at another top hat. And that brings us to the original last pages of the book. So I hope you love this as much as I loved making it. And I hope to see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe.